Hello and good evening. Thank you for joining us for Thursday evenings. We're doing the IMSA nights, the LMP2s, and the GTEs. We're finishing up our time here at Road Atlanta. We're on board with Michael Culliga at the moment, just bombing down the S's there on that early hill. Looking at a couple more minutes of practice, about 7 more minutes of practice, as you have Tyler Pierre Richards on pole position at the moment, or at least not pole position, but fastest overall in the practice session. Very impressive getting into the 108s, which is not far off some of the times that the actual LMP2 drivers were getting to around here. They just had the Road Atlanta IMSA race not too long ago. I just watched the highlights today. It was chaotic coming around right here as P2 and P3 banged right about there, and as you can imagine, the rest of the track had to take some major avoiding action, and 2 LMP2s went off as well. It was just wild. Anyways, so good credit to Tyler, and as expected, Ali Salih is fastest in the GTE class. You can see all the different spread of drivers there in the GTEs. Everybody in the LMP2s, of course, running the new Dallara. Nobody giving the HPD a shout, as probably expected. Yeah, good spread of drivers though. Lots of guys out there. Perhaps not at the moment, but lots of time set. You can see over 30 drivers in total. Oh, see Michael go off right about there. And I'm hoping the sound levels are a little bit better this evening, and you can hear my voice a little bit better over the cars. Here is Doug Doucette, currently 3rd and fastest in those LMP2s. Take a quick look at the track temps, see what we're working with. 80 degrees at the moment. It's a cool 64-degree air temp out there. I think this is the morning session. We do have a 50% fuel load, and that will be a mandatory pit stop for the racers. I'll tell you what, we had just a great race yesterday. Our second heat race in the Camel GTs was just an awesome race throughout, and was surprisingly not as hectic. Everybody was pretty cool and respectful for the overtakes that had to occur. Hoping to see some of the same here, but it looks like we're gonna have a lot of drivers on a track that is, remind me, software, a whopping 2.5 miles long, and you're moving for a lot of that track. So we got 3 minutes to go before qualifying. Check in with a couple of our GTE drivers. Here is Edwin Martinez. Who is driving a diesel out there? Goodness. Sounded like a Volkswagen. Here's Jordan Fisher coming out of the pit lane, trying to be respectful. And Ali Salih, it's just, come on, let's get out there. around turn 3 already. Trying to come to terms with that new Corvette. Who is that in the other Corvette? Sorry, I got guys popping in and out on my software here. And I thought that might be Dustin Burkhalter. And the sorbet paint and that new Corvette. There's Eric Culliga and Darian Roy just behind him. Darian Roy is just in an excellent position at the moment as Eric comes into practice his pit stop. Sometimes practicing behind some of these guys who are really, really fast. Can make you up a ton of time. I remember doing okay at Le Mans, then I followed somebody like Lincoln or something like that and made up a second and a half at Le Mans, which is a lot. There's Darian continuing to take the cone with him that is really sort of stuck under there. Does not want to leave him. Kind of looks like a hockey player with it. And that is it for our practice session. Ooh, and that's it for Paul. And we're going to go right into that 10-minute session. Let's see, that track temperature is up to whopping 91 degrees at the moment. Track is still 2.5 miles long. Ali Salih leaves the pits early. He knows you can get a lot of laps here done, but I suspect to see him on the front row of the GTE class. Steven Liston just has a little off track at that little hairpin there. He's trying to shake off all the cobwebs and get those tires back up to temperature. Might have lost a bit there. Let's see, we should have some guys starting to come across the line now. There's Ali Salih right over to the left side of that track. Great apex on turn 1, keeps the speed up. A little wobble into turn 3, manages to hit the apex and keep running. Here's Ty Johnson in an LMP2 class. Carlos Lopez coming across the line to start his first flying lap. Paul Lindsay's first across the line, and the GTEs with a 1:16.2. Vincent Wood is second. Oh, but he's just put by Matthew Cesario, and then Adam Baltutis slots into fourth. Ty Johnson crossed the line first for the LMP2s with a 1:10. Stephen Liston is second with a 1:11. Lincoln Russell comes across the line in second place for the GTEs. And Justin Burkhalter is easily into the 1:16s. John Miller just a touch faster. Corey doesn't like something with this car. He's going to bring it in, practice that pit stop. We have Shane Hunter on the board in 8th place, Vincent Wood in 9th, and Adam Baltutis now finds himself in 10th as Paul Simmons Ochoa goes 5th fastest. Dustin Burkhalter's in 3rd, John Miller in 2nd. We're missing a lot of these LMP2 cars, instances like this, not able to keep it on the track, especially at that turn. It's very difficult as we see Carlos Lopez coming around that turn. Daniel Salmon is 11th on the grid. Matthew Cesario moves himself up to 6th. And then Paul Simmons Ochoa gets himself on the front row of the GTEs, but then Lincoln Russell takes that spot away from him. We are yet to see Ali Salih get on the board. Here he comes down the back straight. Well, we're missing a lot of these LMP2 drivers. Just as I say that, Troy Banks crosses the line with a 1:12.362. And the top 10 of the GTE class constantly swapping places. Everybody's swapping a place now as Ali goes top of the GTEs. We're 5 minutes down in qualifying. Tyler only able to go, so we see Ali get turn 3 very wrong. This Ken Krugman coming out of the S's. Tyler's only able to go 3rd fastest actually, as Michael climbs to the top of the standings with 1:10.2. I imagine all these guys will probably get a couple more tenths out of these cars, I imagine. As we saw Tyler Pierre Richards able to slip into the 1:18s during practice. He's currently running a 1:10.7, so about almost 2 seconds slower. Couldn't believe I was about to say 2 seconds. I was like, no, that's what it is. He's surely to get up there. Troy Banks retakes 3rd position, with Stephen Liston down in 5th. Carlos Lopez Jr. sets a time, but it's only good enough for the back of the stack. Ty Johnson is 2nd, and Doug Doucette is 3rd. Tyler not able to do any better. Eric crosses the line and goes 2nd fastest and joins his brother on the top of the grid there. And it's real stacked up in the GTE class. At the moment, it's Ali Salih, who's going to be joined by Paul Lindsay on the front row. And then we have Jordan Fisher, John Miller. Oh goodness, Troy is still in 4th now as Doug Doucette is pushed down to 5th. Steve Martinez goes 8th fastest. Paul Lindsay gets back to 2nd place. Ali Salih pushed down to 3rd. John Miller goes fastest overall in the GTEs. So we have about 2.5 minutes to go. Tyler puts himself on the front row, shaves about a second off of his time. I think he still has some speed to be found. Ali Salih goes second fastest. Elise gets back onto the front of the grid. Oh no, he doesn't, as Jordan Fisher comes out of nowhere and puts in a 1:15.352, faster than anybody in practice even, I believe. Michael Kulliga doing a great time there, holding the top of the grid up. Let's take a quick look at the track temp real fast. It's still around 91 degrees. Tyler's up to second, but Doug Doucette goes third fastest. Michael not able to better his time, but he's got 4/10 on anybody else. Vincent Wood is still pushing out there. He's currently 8th in the GTEs. We have a nice big spread of drivers today. I hope everybody can keep it cool. Everybody was so smart in the second camel race, I thought, yesterday. Shane Hunter's going to stay 14th. Vincent Wood's going to stay 8th for the moment. Darrell Washington is still out on grid, but he's going to have to stay where he is in 16th. Steven Martinez, he jumps up to 5th right at the death of qualifying here. And that pole sitter, Jordan Fisher, having a great qualifying session here. 6/10 over anybody else out there. I like that orange car design in the background. Put a lot of detail into that one. Let's take a quick look at that grid now that we all wrapped up with that. Here at Road Atlanta, we got Michael Kulliga on pole position. Well done. Followed by Tyler Pierre Richards, Doug Doucette, and then his brother Eric Kulliga is on the second row. Steven Martinez, Ty Johnson, Troy Banks lines up next to Steven Liston, Carlos Lopez Jr., and that's Bjorn Benches there, who I didn't really think I saw him qualify. But anyways, he's in 10th place, followed by Darian Roy. And then for pole position in the GTEs, it's Jordan Fisher. And actually, I guess that's going to be John Miller on the lining up next to him on the grid. And then Ali Salih, Paul Lindsay, Lincoln Russell, and Paul Simmons Ochoa, Edwin Martinez, Vincent Wood, Kent Kruger, Dustin Burkhalter, Matthew Cesario is going to line up next to Adam Baltunas, Jeremy Lapinus, and Shane Hunter, Daniel Salmon, Darrell Washington, David Arnett, Corey Mitchell, who we didn't see out there, Craig Ream, who we didn't see out there, Greg Fullwood, Dorian Wolfram, and Val Asensio. So good luck to all the racers out there. All right, we're rolling for a warm-up lap here. We got 2.5 miles as you see the GTE class just lingering back there. And let these guys get about 12 to 15 seconds ahead. Here is the view going down. This right-hander right here is just the most treacherous one of all. If you line it up right, it's really not that bad, but it can get away from you very quickly. It's very high speed coming around there. You have to prepare for it, and definitely prepare for getting up onto those curbs. You can sail right over that curve and into the barrier if you are not careful. Here the LMP2s come down the back straight. Michael will have the inside to turn one. And the pace car is in. We are ready to go green flag racing. Everybody gives each other plenty of room going into that final turn as they go side by side further back. And everybody makes it through turn one pretty cleanly. It all looks pretty good further back as they have to file in single file for turn three coming down the hill. Oh goodness, we can't see them through the trees there. Everybody seems to make it pretty nicely through there. The GTE class seems to make it through and survive turn one as well. Turn three, of course, brings that single file going downhill. And they come onto the back straight. Troy Banks makes one up there on Ty Johnson. He does not look happy about it. He wants to try to make that back as soon as possible. Just behind them, Steven Liston is lingering a little bit. Ooh, and there's Eric Kulliga losing a place out to Steven Martinez. There is John Miller in third. Jordan Fisher takes the lead by a lot. John Miller up a place. Straight. Eric not quite able to keep up with Steven ahead of him. Down coming towards that little hairpin section. Oh, and Paul's really pushing that new Corvette in there. Good little battle going on up here. It's Darian ahead of Troy Banks there. It's further back here. That looks like Carlos Lopez Jr. in a mess of the GTE class. Three of these Corvettes squeezing them tightly, and looks like Jeremy Lapidus and that Haas are just getting a little squeezed out there. Sure hope software and everything looks okay to everybody at home, because it is jumping around doing some crazy things here. But so are the drivers, so I'm not surprised at all. We have Paul Lindsay, who is not giving up that fight at all. He's all over that BMW. And here is Troy getting that move done on Darian Roy, getting that spot back from him. Further back, Corey's still trying to get, that's Shane Hunter just in front of him there. At the front of the pack, Tyler has taken the lead. Michael's lost one there. Oh my gosh, these positions are just jumping around all over the place. You can see in the tower, it's not in the tower, but the ticker. It is wild up there. And Doug Doucette still in third. Steven Martinez has managed to retain that place from Eric. Corey has gotten by Shane Hunter. Now Shane's having to deal with Jeremy Lapinus, who has to give up that chase as they head to turn 3. The battle for 7th is now going on, with Troy Banks catching up to Stephen Liston. Eric Culliga. That is Ty Johnson just behind him there. Great little battle going on ahead here. That's Vincent Wood just barely staying ahead of Edwin Martinez. And Troy Banks now going after Stephen Liston. Looks like he's got that move done already, halfway down the back straight. Stephen Liston there, just having to concede that after trying to hop back into the slipstream. Let's check in with Carlos Lopez, making his way through the GTE cars. It's always got to be some drama. And the graphics look so messed up. You can even see the map. Look at the cars on the map. They're just doing strange things. I don't know, because the server is so packed, or what's going on this evening. And we've been on Stephen Liston for a minute. We're watching Carlos Lopez Jr. here get that move done on Paul Lindsay. Here is your race leader at the moment. There is a very broken Porsche, as you can see in the back there. I don't exactly know who that is. Maybe that was someone's Porsche towards the rear. Can't exactly find that person, but here is your race leader making his way through the pack. He's only got a second on Michael at the moment. And then there's not much time between the top few drivers. As just wait for the ticker to come around again, and we'll certainly see. It's a second back to Michael Culliga, and 0.6 to Doug Doucette, 1.2 to Steven. And that's Eric Culliga and Ty Johnson right there behind him. This is not Carlos Lopez. This is Tyler Pierre Richards here, your race leader. coming down to that braking section. Oh, Doug gets a little loose on it. And this, yeah, that crest right there coming down and losing all the weight and traction off your wheels. Very difficult as Michael tries to break that slipstream. Takes it inside, make sure there's nothing to do for Doug. Now he's got some traffic to deal with coming down the hill in the S's. This is really going to slow him up. Let's see if Doug is able to pull up. And now it says Tyler Pierre. It's just delayed, I guess, at this point. And it's a whole mess coming down to this double right-hander here. Riding on board here with Doug Doucette. Here's Eric Kulliga. He finds himself in fourth at the moment. Back and forth in his starting position. Here's Troy Banks all over Steven Liston again. There's just so much going on in this race. You can't even, I can't even start to think about a strategy for the pit stops yet. And we are only, amazingly, 8 minutes into the race. No time for replays even. As you see Darian Roy flashing his lights in the background trying to get by. These guys are desperate to get past that Corvette as they go side by side. Steven Liston should have that inside line. Oh no, Troy Banks just outbrakes him completely though and whips it through there. That's Michael Kulliga now having to go wheel to wheel with Doug Doucette as they weave through this traffic into turn one. He retains that position. Tyler has had to concede a ton of time, and there comes Michael right behind him. Oh, and Doug does well to avoid the braking GTE car in front of him. And Michael's going to get a great exit from this turn. See if he's anything to do on the leader here as he gets a slipstream down the back straight. Is he going to go for a move? He puts his nose in there. He's got to be respectful, and so does Tyler, though. Tyler's going to get a debatably a better exit and gets out of there. Doug Doucette has actually dropped to second and a half behind. He's now closer to Eric behind him for fourth place as the battle for the lead continues here. Oh, Tyler getting a little bit wide in turn 3 there. Manages to keep it through that chicane. And down through the hill, he looks very steady. But they're battling and pulling up to the back of some GTE cars, which is just perfect timing as they can get by down the back straight. That's a great paint job, whoever that previously limping Porsche is. Oh, and they're having to weave all over the place. Michael wants to use that slipstream of Paul Lindsay for as long as possible. And there's Ali Salih. They're up to the third place I'm sorry about my software this evening, you guys. It's just freaking out. I'm doing my best to let you guys know what's going on here. Oh, as that battle for the lead nearly happens into turn 1. That's Ali Salih, who's currently riding 3rd. Oh, there's Jordan Fisher going a little bit wide at the bottom of the hill. He retains first place. There is Michael Kulliga, who is next to be lapped, but who's able to retain 2nd. Ali still in 3rd, followed by Paul Lindsay. Oh! And this is Steven Martinez doing quite the move there on Carlos Lopez, outbraking him there. And down the back straight come the leaders. This isn't going to be the moment. He's going to need a better slipstream than that, as he found out last time. Here's, oh, excuse me, I thought there was a big battle going on there. And the GTE class is spread out a little bit, probably due to being lapped so much, and that is really, it's more because it's so crowded today. You actually get to see more of the racecraft of passing and being passed and making it quick, because that's where everybody's making and losing time, really, or just lack of losing time, I suppose. Nobody makes any time, but just to see how lucky you are, as Tyler's going to soak up as much of that slipstream as possible. Michael's just a quarter second back. Oh, and Michael completely whips it into that final chicane. I can't believe the amount of speed he was able to take through there. He's out around yet another one of these Corvettes. Tyler goes to attack the grass there. Some light flashing and lapping going on in the background. Michael is away. He's already got a 2nd on Tyler since he got that move done. That has got to hurt a little bit. I cannot believe the amount of speed he took through there, though. That was just brilliant to see. Here's Carlos Lopez, still now behind Steven Martinez. He's unfortunately lost 3 places since the beginning of this race, from starting in 5th. We're watching Eric Kulliga here. Here's Corey Mitchell behind Kent Kruger, coming down the hill, trying to make it happen. You know, I think this timing software is mostly made for some oval car racing, and I don't know if it can handle the mixed class. Many drivers so spread out and so lapped. We're on board with Corey Mitchell right here, staring at the back of Kent Kruger. Corey takes a very much wider line through there. It's amazing. Are we live even? Has this been 10 minutes? 10 minutes? Oh my God. I feel like I've been here all night. And there are your race leaders. Tyler catching quite a bit up. He's now only 2/10 behind Michael. Some traffic there. I'll bring him back into play, I'm sure. And they've got some more to deal with as they approach the end of this lap. Cannot believe it has only been 10 minutes. Now I feel like my software is really screwed. People are about to start coming in for pit stops. Just doesn't make sense. Michael not able to get that move done before they come into the downhill S's. I was wondering if they were going to get around that car, and there's none to do there. As I saw an LMP1 car, or a DPI, I guess, punt a as they go side by side down to the double right-hander, just absolutely punt a Lamborghini. He came from a long way back on that right-hander, and he tried to sneak inside the inside, and the Lamborghini wanted, of course, apex there, and turned to the right and turned right into the DPI car and just got thrown into it. And they've actually got a first set of barrels that the cars hit before they actually hit the barrier to slow them down some. And oh my God, it was scary because they're just going so fast and downhill on the grass, and nothing stopping them. The little extra kick from a heavy LMP2, LMP1 car. Ooh, and that's Corey Mitchell still closing up to the back of Kent Kruger, and that's Ali Salih, who had an off track at the first one of those right-handers, I believe, coming around the... I don't even know what's happening. There's no one on track map over there. It's all so messed up. I'm doing my best, everybody. We're going to make this happen this evening. It's Jeremy Lapinis right next to Ali Salih, who is now dropped back all the way to 9th. Actually, we got that place back. He's up to 8th now. No, I'm so confused. He's in for his pit stop to get some quick repairs real quick and some fuel. I think he's been out there long enough to probably start thinking about fueling up. There is a battle for... No, something must have happened as we find Eric Culligan down in 6th. That's Troy Banks just ahead of him there, who has a great race strategy this season. Is just slow and steady and creeping up from the back the entire race. He always finds himself near the front. And it also won't let me show anybody's pit time this evening. So that is slightly annoying as we see Michael Culligan coming down to the final chicane. And there are just little tiny battles everywhere. It looks like Kent Kruger in the background there has managed to shake Corey Mitchell. Corey Mitchell came in for his pit stop, heading to the inside there. And that's going to lose Tyler some time. And Michael's able to clear those Corvettes in turn 1. I wonder if Tyler is even going to be able to before turn 3. He's not, and so he's going to have to stay behind or make a mad dash move at the moment. Thank you to whoever was in that Haas Corvette and allowing this race to go forward, because that lost Tyler 2 whole seconds in that little exchange there. Here's Troy Banks tracking down Ty Johnson. Looks like Eric Culligan went to the pits to repair whatever put him in 6th place. There's Paul Lindsay battling with Corey Mitchell now. Maybe something happened. I could have sworn that Corey Mitchell was back a few ways, to say the least. Maybe we had some early pitters to get out of the way. Like Corey Mitchell's now a whopping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positions ahead of Kent Kruger. Like, I'm not exactly sure what's up with my timing tower. It says Corey Mitchell's in 3rd, and he's moved up 15 positions today. That, or he's being just total dick to Paul Lindsay, who is riding him and showing him how to drive a Corvette. And even he's got a line of LMP2s behind him. They're not going to go 3 wide here. And that is Eric Kulliga making up 1 position on Steven Liston there after his pit stop. And here they all come down to the end here. Here's Jordan Fisher, your GTE leader. John Miller is in second. This is John Miller here. And I believe it says Corey Mitchell there. And Paul Simmons Ochoa is in 4th, I guess. Just had a little issue. This race is just crazy. There's we have a view of pit lane. We got a couple guys in there. It looks like both Michael and Tyler have decided to pit at the same time. That looks like Paul Lindsay coming out just in front of us here. So he has left him alone, and that is Michael Kulliga and Tyler quickly behind him also deciding to come out. It's that Darian Roy, I believe, that has stopped for his pit stop. So Troy Banks takes the lead of the race for the moment. And that is actually Bjorn Benches, who I don't think we've seen all race. What the hell is going on, man? That's not Tyler. That's Tyler. That's Bjorn. I thought he started the grid, and then I think he went to the pits, and I didn't see him on the track anymore. And then now here he is after people are starting to pit at 13 minutes in. What time is it? It's 6:31. I don't even know what time the race started. I feel like we're so much further into this race. Yeah, look at my timing tower. It's like ticking slow as hell, or just freaking out. I don't even know. We must be coming in for our pit stops now. I have no earthly idea. It's 20. This is a 2020 race, if I have ever seen one. Oh my God! I thought we had such a clean, awesome race last night. And then I was looking forward to this big LMP2 and GTE battle this evening. I have no idea what is happening on this track, but we are having fun. It is currently 6:32. So that could mean that we have 8 minutes to go in this race, which is probably likely, as we have quite a number of people come into the pits already. And Troy Banks heads for the pits to free up Michael to retake the lead of the race. There's Jordan Fisher coming out of he's coming in for his pit stop now. John Miller is going to follow him as well. Eric Kulliga has Troy Banks just behind him there as he came out of the pits. And they're passing down the S's as Troy does not want to give that move up. He's going to have a moment at the end of the pits here, surely. This actually is Jeremy Lappin is here, just getting all caught up in the middle of these prototypes. That's Tyler Pierre there. You know what? I'm done with this. Enough of you know what? I can't even get rid of it. No. All right, maybe it'll go away in a second. I don't even want these names on here any longer, though. That's Darian Roy pulling away from Bjorn Benches there. And around turn 1, Eric maintains in that lead. Michael with a whopping 6-second lead at the top of the standings. Tyler's got 4 seconds on Doug Doucette. And then it's 9 seconds back to Ty Johnson here. And then another 5.5 back to these guys. Troy needs to get by Ali before the braking zone here. He is going to do it, but oh, Eric's going to send it down on Paul, and Troy is not able to make it round 2. Oh, and Darian Roy able to save that rear end from sliding out around that final turn. He's still got half a second up to Bjorn Benches in front of him. There's Ali Salih trying to climb back up a couple positions, and Paul Simmons Ochoa just ahead of him. Oh, Paul having a little issue, going a little wide, having to go onto the grass and let up a little gas. Ali's got that move done. I have no idea when this race is ending whatsoever, when our final lap is going to be. But your race leader by about 5.5 seconds at the moment, Michael Kulliga. Is Dustin Burkhalter, and as you can see, these GTEs have really started to spread out. I wish we could have gotten the pit times at the very least for us. Bjorn losing a ton of time, stuck on that downhill section. Very frustrating for him, but that's the glory of the mixed class racing. As Darian Roy tries to get to the inside to make this move on Bjorn. Bjorn tries to shut the door on him, but can't quite make it happen. Darian has to lay back a little bit, and now is not the moment. There's Eric Kulliga, who has lost Troy Banks a little bit there. I don't know what's going on with my timing tower, but it sees Corey Mitchell in third at the moment. And I know Jordan Fisher and John Miller, I'm pretty sure they're 1 and 2. That sounds right, the GTEs. I don't know if Corey Mitchell was really able to make up 15 positions. Credit to you if you actually did that, Corey. I don't know. Here is Paul Lindsay. He's got, Vincent Wood just ahead of him there. He's to take a slight evasive action, a much rounder way around that corner. And has going to get pushed down the road by an LMP2 as well. That's Steven Martinez getting by these guys. Vincent's pulling back to the inside of this. No, he's not going to make it here. That's Terry and Roy behind them. Now has lost out to Steven Martinez and Bjorn Benches, because there's Bjorn coming around turn 1 now. Heavens knows how much time is left. I swear one of these times these guys are just going to stop driving and I'm going to go, that's the end of the race. So that's it, folks. Thanks for coming. I have no idea what your finishing grid was. I have no idea who finished where. But you got to see some cars going around road Atlanta tonight to finish us up. Hopefully we will have an update. This is Ty Johnson here. Oh! As we see these guys go off track, let's see what happened. That's not what I want to see. Oh God, why did I try to watch replay? Oh good, it is sort of working, who knows? And now it looks like Tyler has had an issue. I'm looking in the checker boxes here to see anything with Tyler's name on it, but he appears to be running down in 4th position at the moment, because that is Eric Kulliga, I believe, in 5th, and Troy Banks in 6th. Back there, and so we have Michael Kulliga, and there is Doug Doucette on the back straight. There is Ty Johnson entering the back straight. And there is Tyler entering the back straight. So right at the death, he is going to lose that podium position. I think that happened last week as well. And there's Eric Culligan. Troy Banks. Unfortunately, he's going to lose one as well right at the death. This could have been the last lap, and that's why everybody's trying some moves. And looks like Bjorn Benches is the next one behind Troy. For anybody who's been paying attention, that is not Corey Mitchell, that is Jeremy Lapinus. You see there's some lap cars in the mix there. Vincent Wood is nowhere to be found. Here is Ali Salih. Still racing, so that's how I know we're still going here, folks. Oh, here's another box. Here's another box, another ticker that's on time. It says 38 on it, so we might get 2 more laps here. It seems to be more of an accurate time. And we're looking at Steven Liston getting passed by Troy Banks into turn 1. That's Bjorn Bench is just behind them in 8th. So Steven's got to look out. Michael Gulliga starting us off on this final lap. We have 30 seconds on the race clock to go. Bjorn Bench is making that move through turn 1 on Dustin Burkhalter, making sure he stays up with these guys. There's Jeremy Lappin is really pushing on Kent Kruger. He's going to get that move done on turn 1. No, that was not turn 1. That was a double right-hander. Kent is left with nothing but that slipstream. And there is Michael Kulliga crossing the line for what I believe is the final time. It looks like he's taking it easy, and there are the fireworks. As Doug Doucette crosses the line in 2nd. Here we have Ty Johnson, who's going to cross for 3rd. And there's Tyler, who unfortunately can only do 4th fastest. There is Eric Kulliga and Troy Banks. Jordan Fisher is your leader for the GTEs. It's John Miller in 2nd position. Troy Banks battled through that little pack to beat Steven Liston for 6th. As Eric Kulliga at 5th, and Troy Banks in 6th, Steven Liston in 7th. Bjorn Bench could only finish 8th, and Darian Roy was in 10th. We have Steven Martinez. And Carlos Lopez rounds out the finishers in the LMP2 class. Then, of course, we had Jordan Fisher, who's finding his reverse gear there for the first time this evening. John Miller. Of course, Corey Mitchell makes a podium appearance somehow. I don't even know. It says up 15 positions. Well done to you, Corey. And then we have Ali Salih. Paul Simmons Ochoa finishes 5th in the GTE class, followed by Lincoln Russell, Jeremy Lapinus, and then Kent Kruger just behind him in 8th. And then maybe it says Dustin Burkhalter is finished 9th, and then followed by Shane Hunter, then Edwin Martinez, Craig Ream, David Arnett, Vincent Wood, Adam Baltudas, Paul Lindsay, Matthew Cesario, Daniel Salmon, and Daryl Washington. And those are all the guys who came to join us this evening and were able to grid up. You know, we had a massive grid today, and we're going to figure out why the timing tower was so strange and why we still have half a race to go up top there. But thank you all very much for joining us once again. And next week, of course, oh, goodness gracious, we see Darian Roy coming out of nowhere. We are going to be back with the Miatas, so make sure you join us for that. We will see you next week.